What's going on, family? It is Sunday. 11:32 a.m. East Coast time. It's time for the show y'all been waiting for all weekend long. That is the Fighter Share Report. Hey, my name's Brew. I'm here with Pretty Tony. What's going on?
Man, this Sunday, bro, this marks the end of another week for us, the beginning of another one. That's how time works. Man, I'm just happy to be here for the end of the week therapy session, man. We got some things to talk about. Maybe a lot of combat sports, maybe not. But I'm here for it, man. It's a little chilly outside. I'm not excited about that, but it seems to be a pretty good Sunday so far. Got a lot of good foosball games yesterday, and we got some more good foosball games on slate for today. So my Sunday could possibly be spent inside of my house where I am now in front of that thing behind me, watching a lot of that today.
What's on there right now?
That would be Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Hey,
So
okay. Is that starring Joe Biden?
in another form, maybe, maybe.
All right, well, let's get into it. Hey!
We see the work that you put in. We see you training. We know the effort that it takes. We see your sacrifice. We know fighters, and we are the show that the fighters watch. Welcome to the Fighters Share Report.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh, my bad. Hey! All right, UFC 259. Listen, it's making me want to purchase it now. I know it doesn't come out until March 6th, but I've overlooked all the other UFCs. That one is where my money's going, bro. That one is where my money's going. I mean, if you just look at the lineup, just look at the lineup for that. All right, March 6th, UFC 259. Right now, just right now, we have Israel Adesanya versus Jan Blachowicz, Amanda Nunez versus Megan Anderson, and Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. All three are title fights. All three. One, two, three. Oh, oh, oh.
Oh,
Let's.
I'm glad that you can count. But I mean, yeah, I'm excited about it. But unlike you, my friend, I like my meals a little slow cooked. So I'm perfectly okay with the slow build up that we're going to get starting next week with some great UFC cards that we talked about at the beginning of the week. So listen, all this is a great build up, but you're right. You can't help but sometimes people around the corner, to see the pretty girl at the end of the line, right? Because we know what we want to get to. But this is a dope card. It's gonna be all that. I mean, with those three, each one of those fights should be, I mean, respectively could be their own headliners. So
Exactly.
the fact that that you're gonna put all these people on one card, I'm totally excited. But I'm good. I'm good with what they're doing to get us to that point. I'm okay with it.
Speaking with the pretty girl at the head of the line. Good morning, sunshine. Thank you for watching us this morning. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I believe that Israel Adesanya fight, that is gonna be, it's gonna be the business. It's gonna be good against Jan Blachowicz. That's gonna be good. And we all like Peter Yan. I mean, that's a no brainer. And we like Aljamain Sterling. We just hope the right one shows up, cause whoo, that's I'm telling you, this is gonna be one of them fights. I'm ordering my pizza now. Better yet, I got a new recipe for pizza dough. I found a place right around the corner where I can get Phillips crab meat from. So that will be the night of my next crab meat pizza extravaganza. Yes, sir. It will. And I'm looking forward to it.
It sounds like an invitation to me, bro. Are you extending the olive branch here? This is where we going? Are we eating crab pizza the night of March 6th? Is that what you're telling me?
What? I am. Um,
Yeah, I'm sure we all saw that one coming. But yeah, this is definitely a fight card to be excited about. A man dude that's Megan Anderson. Look, Megan Anderson has everything to gain, nothing to lose because nobody is really giving her a shot as good as she is. But if you have opportunity to thwart greatness, it's usually off of a long hiatus or a big break.
Yeah.
Nunez, this will be what, almost a full 18 months or 20
No,
months since the last time she's fought?
no, she
Because she didn't
fought.
fight at all last year.
Yeah, she did. She fought in Jacksonville at the Apex Center, at the place in
That's
Jacksonville.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ended. Yeah, you're right.
So
They were
she
trying to
fought.
get her on before the year ended, and they
Yeah.
kept falling through. You're
It
right.
was like
Okay.
May, I think, May or June. She
Yeah,
fought
yeah,
with
early.
no
Yeah,
fans, and you could hear the
yeah, yeah,
thuds. Oh,
yeah. She
I
did. She
just
did.
saw
I
her
remember that.
fear growing the whole time. But yeah, she had some sort of injury in December, and it pushed that fight back. But I'm looking forward to that. I'm just listen. I'm gonna have my ludicrous plan. Throw them bows because it's gonna be a good card. I'm telling you, bro. Look, I don't even care about the undercard. You did that main card right there is enough.
Yeah, we don't want to disrespect others on the card, but yeah, when you in there with the who's who of the sport, it's kind of hard to feel or to you understand your place in line. So yeah, I get it there. But they're gonna have a bunch of ground cards. Dana White is he keeps figuring it out, bro. You know, we want to bury him, right? We want to give him a reason to throw a little dirt on him, and when we do, it's like it just doesn't stick. I mean, he is what Donald Trump wishes he could probably really be, I guess, in the sense that nothing ever really sticks. So,
Well, I think it's
I
gonna
mean,
stick soon. Oh, you mean the okay, the Dana White? Yeah, you're right.
yeah. So,
Right.
I mean, kudos to the UFC for once again looking like they just getting it right going into 2021.
Yeah, yeah. And good morning, Miss Anita Brown, for checking in with us this morning. Hey, as we move on, listen. What? I changed that. I promise you, I changed that. All right, Mr. Producer, we're gonna get this right because I sure changed it, and I must have. I don't know what happened, but we're gonna go. The NCAA wrestling rankings came out this week, and this looks like another huge year for the Big Ten. Now we handle all combat sports here, and oh look, I put it up here instead of I put it in the subject line. Has kicked off in grand style this, especially for the Big Ten. Um, I know this is more my specialty, so I just want to say, wrestling is one of the few NCAA sports that still have an opportunity for any school to compete at a high level. Just look at some of the rankings. Now, the Big Ten is dominating the rankings as usual. Just something about those Big Ten schools, and there are a few Big 12 schools who you can count on to be in there. But this year, number one, Iowa. Number two, Penn State. Number three, Michigan. And then you got number four sneaking in, North Carolina State Wolfpack from the ACC. Stand up. Number five, Nebraska. I mean, we have four of the top five. We got Oklahoma State finally breaking in with the Big 12, followed by Ohio State, and then you got Virginia Tech and Iowa State and Missouri, the only SEC school in there. So out of the top 10, you have Iowa State. Well, no, you have Iowa rather, Ohio State, Nebraska, Michigan, Penn State, and yeah, and Iowa. It's amazing to me how year after year they retool. But what I love about this, when you look at the rankings, you'll see some other schools in there who you really wouldn't see mostly, like Lehigh. Lehigh always has a dominant wrestling team. They're able to compete with the big boys and still get those really good wrestlers from Florida, Ohio, Texas, Pennsylvania. They can still recruit in those territories And
I mean,
Portland,
even when you look at what you're saying as far as wrestling, I mean, it's very much a regional thing. All these schools you name have mostly one thing in common: they all are Rust Belt, mid to northeastern schools, Midwest schools. So when you got Ohio State, you got all the representation from the Big Ten. I'm not surprised. These schools have been doing it for years. Now, what would surprise me is if you got a Southern California school up there
well, you
or a
got
Texas
Arizona
school up
State.
there.
You got Arizona State in the top number 11. You got Stanford at number 18. You got Northwestern, and you got Army.
Also Big Ten.
Army,
No Southern schools.
and
Nothing from
Northern
Texas. Nothing
Colorado.
from Florida.
You're right. Well,
Interesting.
you're not going to have anything from Florida because remember Charlie Pell, the coach, he got rid of wrestling in the state of Florida years ago to make room for money for football and basketball. So when he did that, the only school in Florida, if I'm not mistaken, is Pensacola Christian. Is the
Got
only
it.
one that has,
Got
yeah.
it. I just learned something. I was today's years old when I found that out, bro. I had no idea that was a thing. But
Yeah,
it makes sense. That's why I never heard of it. Yeah.
USF, back when I was going there, we had a shot at getting wrestling at USF, and USF decided not to because when they got football approved, they could have also gone after another sport, which they did, but they chose not to go after wrestling, and it was still that whole good old boy network that really keeps wrestling down in the South. Now, what I want to say really quickly is if you ever want to see an entertaining interview, watch a head wrestling coach do a press conference. You'll need an umbrella to keep the spit from hitting you, but they get so jacked up, you think they're going to go out and grab you as you ask a question. It's really freaking hilarious. So, moving on. Meanwhile, Teofimo Lopez, in an interview with Ellie Seckbach, declares himself the king of 135 and says there can be only one. Your thoughts?
I mean, as the kids say, all facts, right? No Wi-Fi connection needed. This is all true. The man is speaking the truth. How many belts he got? All of them. Who he
Um,
beat to get him? Other champions. And as much as we don't like the fact that he seems to be turning into a prima donna right before our eyes, it's justified. You and I have watched his kids rise from the well, not the amateur, but his early pro career. We knew it was special if him and his father could get along. Seems to be they have the perfect love-hate relationship because it yields belts and money, and that's all that matters in the sport. So yeah, Tiafimo is right, and I mean, there's not even much of a debate about it.
well, it's pretty interesting because Ellie asked him, said, he was asking about um, who would have the advantage about Devin Haney, and then he went to Javante Davis and Ryan Garcia. And he said, you're calling yourself the king, but they're champions also. He says, yes, they are, but I'm still the king. It was just looking at that. And the one thing I caution about, if he becomes a complete prima donna, they fall hard when they fall. Yeah, the kid's young, but Tank is young, Ryan's young,
But
Devin's
wait,
young.
I get what you're saying. And when we talk prima donna, listen, I'm speaking just from when he talks of a place from privilege. As far as what he's accomplished, this kid is different. This kid wants to be great. This kid feels like he's great.
Hmm.
He's not, we've never heard nor have we seen him have any issues with discipleship outside of the ring or inside of the ring. He's going to be around for a long time. If he falls from grace, it'll be because of some unforeseen tragic incident. It won't be
Broke
because
that hand.
he lost. It won't be because he lost discipline and just off the wagon. I don't see that being in this kid's personality at all.
Okay. Hey, like I said in the five heartbeats, we shall see. We
I
shall
mean,
see.
think about it like this: the kid is 20, what, 4, 3. He's like him, and he's not that much younger than Lubin. They're all kind of right there in the same age. This kid's married with a wife. This kid picked up and moved to Jonesboro, Arkansas
Hmm.
after he left Florida and went to Las Vegas. Then from Vegas to Brooklyn. Now he's in the middle of America, nowhere. And this is where he set up shop. This is where he lives. This says a lot about his personality. This kid is not in New York. He's not in Miami on boats. He's not in LA. This kid is, I mean, enjoying the victory, the spoils of his victory, but he's all by all accounts, he's buying into this long term.
Okay.
So when I say these things, that's kind of what I'm talking about. He doesn't seem to do the other things that the other guys in that division are doing right now. That's all.
What
And
was
that's
the
no knock
biggest
against them.
what was the biggest worry that commentators brought up about him going into the Lomachenko fight? And you mentioned it on this show. One thing about him was his mental stability. So, yes, he pulled it together for the Lomachenko fight. That is something that's going to plague him all the way through his career. Because he has all the talent in the world. We've seen that. We've seen the way he adjusted and game planned for Lomachenko and left Lomachenko with no answers for the first 8 rounds. So, yes, we know he can pull it together, but will he always be able to pull it together, especially when he feels like not that he's deserving, but that he has already beaten these guys before he's gotten in the ring with them?
Yeah. He's dialed in, bro. And I mean, and again, I just want to go back to the last point I was trying to make. Being young and having this much exposure and
Uh-oh. You froze.
influence of drug, a very addictive concoction. So when I speak about Teofimo in regards to how he's moving versus the other guys, it's not a knock against those other guys. That's what you should be doing when you're young and have the access to the things that they have. But it takes a special young person to say, you know what? Maybe I can enjoy that type of my life a little later on. Right now, I need to be completely dialed in and focused on this. So,
Hey, I hope he is. I really do. Look, yeah, I said it. It's your time.
appreciate that, bro. And I'm a little bit prepared for today's segment than I was since you started doing this because I've had about 18 hours to be heartbroken. If you guys don't know what happened about 18 hours ago, well, let me just be the first to tell you. Russell Wilson and my Seahawks burned in the first round of the playoffs. And I'm not hurt because I'm a Seahawks fan. I am a Russell Wilson fan. I don't think that Russell Wilson gets enough credit for what he's doing as a quarterback. But not just a quarterback, a black quarterback in an NFL that has always had a certain segment or stereotype when it comes to that position. Russell has come in as the underdog, came in with a guy that had just gave a lot of money to, it was supposed to be the starter, came in and beat him out, got to 2 Super Bowls, won one, and correct me if I'm wrong, every single year, this guy is in the conversation for league MVP. And it's not because he's this towering stature of a man. He doesn't have the physical attributes of a Cam Newton. He doesn't have that special thing about him like Lamar Jackson, right? But one thing he seems to be is a very dedicated, blue-collar, careful, and very caring type person. And all that matters when you're trying to hang your hat on somebody to build a franchise around. Russell Wilson would be a god in our culture if he played in Charlotte, if he played in Atlanta, if he played in Houston. But he plays in Seattle. On the other side of the country where we don't get to see him enough, he doesn't really get the credit and recognition that he deserves. I hope one day before his career is over and done with, even if he never wins another Super Bowl, I hope that one day Russell Wilson will be the new Doug Williams because as far as I'm concerned, he set all the standards and has exceeded all of them. And by the way, can I say the new JB, maybe the new Barack and Michelle, Russell and Sierra?
Well, I was going to say, and the biggest attribute is he goes home to Sierra every day. Listen, I want to talk about why number 8 is headed for the Hall of Fame. Let's go to Baltimore, who plays Tennessee today. Let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, the one that the experts said should switch to safety or maybe running back or H-back or cornerback because he wasn't good enough to play quarterback in the NFL. Let's talk about the man the pundits, the ones who we give credence to, said will never be a winner in the NFL at quarterback. Let's talk about Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has defied the odds like a lot of young black quarterbacks. Coming out of high school, how did Miami, Florida, Florida State, USF, UCF miss on this guy? How did they all decide he wasn't going to be a good college quarterback? Louisville had no other choice. They took a chance on him, got a Heisman out of him, got television recognition out of him, helped Bobby Petrino keep a job for 3 years. Then he goes to the NFL, steps in for Joe Flacco at the end of his first year, his rookie year. Yeah, they said he lost a playoff game. Okay. Comes back the next year, wins MVP, loses the playoff game to the Titans, who were just a running juggernaut. Comes back this year, fights through adversity, gets his team, the Ravens, back in the playoffs this year. And the question is, will he never be great if he doesn't win a playoff game? This is just the end of his third year, Brain Trust. So I would say, let's see. All right, bro. Wow. That's just my thoughts. But yeah, Russ, man, he gets the MVP for going home to Sierra every day.
Yeah, man, that hurt my feelings to go out like that yesterday. But I tell you what, one thing I don't think any of us gave enough credit for was how important. You know what? Me and you, we should know better, but we didn't give enough credit. Well, at least I know I didn't when it comes to defense, because defense wins championships, and the league has got so far away from that we don't really believe in that moniker now. Now defense wins you moments. So if your defense can create enough moments in the game to give your chance, a team a chance to win, they can get enough stops because you can't really shut anybody down. But boy, did the LA Rams defense come to play yesterday. They've been the number one defense in the league or in the top five all year, bro. They look good. Aaron Donald was getting help from a couple of guys on that front, and them cornerbacks and that secondary is locking everything up, bro. They just put it on Russell yesterday. And then Cam Akers, the running back from Florida State, man, they was gashing Seattle yesterday, man. But it hurt my feelings because Russell is in the MVP conversation every year. And his greatness is going to be defined by how many championships he's won, bro. He's only been to two. He's only won one. But, bro, the numbers, when he's done, bro, this kid, his interception to touchdown ratio, bro, come on, man. Every year with no receivers. He just got two receivers this year because last year DK wasn't what he is now. So, I don't know. Forgive me, bro. I'm a Russell Wilson fan, bro.
Yeah, but they weren't as consistent this year they needed to be. The blueprint
Yeah.
was out on how to beat them. And you're right, Samantha Clark, defense does win championships. Shout out to Fighter Share Nation, Miss Anita Brown, Miss Samantha Clark. All right, bro.
See y'all tomorrow.